All right, take it away, Andy.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Andy Stutzman. I'm the Director for Civic Technology at Drexel's ExCITE Center. The ExCITE is an expressive and creativity and technology center focused mainly, it's an academic center focused on researching STEAM, kind of STEAM technology, STEAM education, adding that arts into STEM. And so we have a lot of great labs and research projects there, but we also take our technological knowledge and try to put it towards the community as well. So we have high school and middle school programs, as well as myself, who focuses on digital equity programs. We work with small businesses in the area, helping them create websites. We do, and I'm also running a lot of grants for the city right now, including our digital navigator program, which I'm gonna share my slides now. And I would love if anyone can use that thumbs up at least. Has anyone heard of the Digital Navigator program? We've been around, it's a citywide program. It's been around for 2 years now. I'm just curious if anyone's heard of the Digital Navigators. I hope you have, Joe. All right. All right. That's good information for me to have. So, so the presentation I'm going to share, it's kind of modified for one that we share with community orgs. But it's also I'm going to tailor it to you all as well for individualized information too. So, yeah, digital navigator work. There are 3 organizations that are doing this work. We'll share that in a minute. Kind of the goals here is to kind of share, create awareness for that digital landscape in Philadelphia around the digital divide. Provide you information on different free services and programs, provide you the resources, and then also just give you, so you can also kind of be a mini digital navigator out there and kind of assisting others that that might need this information too. So, and so, yeah, the biggest thing about the digital divide, we have about, I think this is 19%. So 81% of Philadelphians have high-speed access, internet access right now. So 19% are lacking access in Philadelphia. And this is a great number because back in 2019, we were about 28% of Philadelphians didn't have access. So we've actually really increased during the pandemic. And that's through programs like the Digital Navigator program and the cities, some of their free internet programs as well as ISPs like Comcast and Verizon offering discounted programs. So we've done really well to increase the number of people that have high-speed internet access, but that number doesn't always tell the truth, or doesn't say everything. I don't know if you zoom down to certain areas in Philadelphia, we know that there's still only 60 to 70% of people might have access. Back in 2019, we knew that there are some neighborhoods that are down, especially like Northeast Philly and Southwest Philly. They're down to they had only 35 to 45% had access back in 2019. So we're pretty confident that those numbers have gone up from there, but it's still not quite enough. So that's why we exist. That's why we're working to help people get connected, and not just to internet, but to devices. And so we use a lot of the words like talking about the digital divide. I'm assuming it's something that a lot of you have heard about. Is that the idea of that the divide is just getting bigger and bigger, especially as technology increases and gets better, which is great. Technology should get better, but a lot of people are just being left behind because they can't afford it. It's not accessible to them. A lot of people are just being excluded, from new technologies, and even from parts of society because you don't have the access. So we talked about those terms: digital exclusion, digital divide. The other term that we're going to talk about just is digital inclusion, and that's what we also often refer to as these programs like the digital navigator programs. Is where they're digital inclusion programs. We're trying to bring people in, kind of close that divide up a little bit too, and be inclusive with the work that we're doing. And digital inclusion is there's kind of a national standard of this through National Digital Inclusion Alliance, NDIA, and that's high-speed access, internet-enabled devices, access to digital training, and also quality technical support. And that's where the digital navigators come in. And then the 5th one there is just make sure that there's content and applications that are accessible to people, and to meet those needs as well. So the digital navigator programs, we're gonna just skip this program is a little bit longer. The slides are longer than time I have, so we're just gonna kind of, there we go. This talks about kind of what we do a little more. So we help people get free devices as we have supplies. So we work a lot with some of the refurbishers in the area to get devices and have those accessible. I know at Drexel, right now we are focusing on people that are in job training programs or trying to work remotely. We have computers for those, or those that sign up for our digital skills classes as well. We have devices for them. Then we also signing up for a free and affordable internet connection. So if anyone, internet is free right now for anyone that can't afford it, and that's through some of the federal programs that we'll talk about, and also through the school district of Philadelphia has a program as well. So we're helping people get connected to those things. And then also enrolling in the digital literacy or digital skills and adult education programs. Right now, the city has a huge effort on what's called the North Star Digital Literacy certification. So it's free digital skills classes that anyone in Philly can take right now, and get those skills they need. Because that's the question as we're getting people connected, we're getting them devices. The question is always, what's next, right? Do you know how to use those devices? Do you know what the resources are out there once you get a computer as well? So the three programs that are out there are Beyond Literacy, formerly the CLC, and they are in 3 areas. They're in West Philly, they're in Center City, and then they're in Northeast Philly as well. And ourselves, the ExCITE Center, Drexel University, and then also CMAC, the Southeast Asian Alliance down in South Philly. And we all very much kind of complement each other in some ways. We're more focused on refurbishing and getting devices out there. Beyond Literacy has great adult education programs. They're getting, continuing education, adult education programs, getting people connected to that. And then CMAC is great also at working with new populations in Philly, and also with language support as well. As we get folks coming in where we can't necessarily support their language, we can forward them to CMAC, and they have a service that covers up to about 40 different languages, I believe. So, which is great. So these are the 3 main programs we've been doing. All 3 of us have been doing this for 2 years now. We'll be going into our 3rd year in July, hopefully. And this is funded through the city and also with United Way, in conjunction with United Way. And then you are also ideas that to make you all digital navigators using the information we're providing you today too. So hopefully you can use this information for yourselves, but also share this information with others. So some of the basic tasks that we talked about are connecting people to free internet programs, those PHL Connect Ed, and I would love to see a thumbs up or thumbs down, has anyone heard of the PHL Connect Ed program at all? That'd be great to hear. This is the free internet program through the city and the school district of Philadelphia. So any student or any family or household that has students that go to public school in Philly, or majority of the charter schools, are eligible for a free internet program through PHL Connect Ed. That's pre-K through 12th grade. And then there's the federal government also, this year has launched the Affordable Connectivity Program. And this is through the infrastructure funds. If you remember Congress passing that earlier in the year, that is supplying families or households with $30 a month towards your broadband costs. So, even if you have a cable package, you can actually apply the $30 towards whatever your internet costs might be on that package. So whether it's Fios or Xfinity, whatever you might have, but you can also apply this towards a mobile hotspot, or that kind of the mobile internet connection too. So Internet Essentials is the most common low-cost program that's out there. It's been around for a long time, and they actually have some other programs we'll show you here in a minute. So PHL Connect Ed, one number you need to remember, that if you remember anything about getting free internet access, remember 211. That's United Way's hotline, and they are supporting the PHL Connect Ed program. So just remember 211. People can call there. They can get a code from United Way that will help them sign up for free internet access with Comcast. Or if they're housing insecure, maybe they're in a families in a homeless shelter, the students can get hotspots instead for that. So, which is great. And also the hotspots are also provided for a child or student that might be between caregivers throughout the week. Maybe they're split between parents, based on, arrangements or grandparents, whatever that is. So a hotspot could be available instead of Internet Essentials. Yeah, and ACP, as we talked about, is $30 a month towards that. ACP also, like nationwide, they're encouraging ISPs to provide discounts towards the laptops. I don't think anyone in Philly is doing that. I don't think Comcast or Verizon is offering any discounts towards that device right now. It's really just the $30 a month. The other program, if you've heard of Lifeline, that Lifeline's been around for a long time. If you ever look at your cell phone bill or phone bill, there's always a tax usually that goes towards the Lifeline program to help assist those that can't afford a phone connection. So you can always use the Lifeline towards any kind of phone connection, even your cell phone connection, and then use the ACP towards internet costs. So you can actually get up almost to $40 a month that way towards your cell phone and internet costs. And I'm going to provide all this information as well via a link, so you'll have all the slides and also have the any of the flyers and things for the programs we're talking about. So you mentioned Internet Essentials. It's been around for a while, $9.99 per month at 50 megabytes a second. But they're offering Internet Essentials Plus now. So if you sign up for regular Internet Essentials, you can get upgraded to Internet Essentials Plus, and that's doubles the speed, and it's still free for you through the ACP. So that's the program we're really encouraging folks to get on board with. There's 100 megabytes a second is really kind of the low end limit for high-speed internet access. That's, when we talk about high-speed internet access, it's usually 100 megabytes is what we're talking about for speed. Yeah, so we talked about some of the programs here, and some of these numbers are out of date. But yeah, talk about, they've been able to connect. Like, we know that 91% of K-12 households are up to date or have high-speed internet access now, up from 70%. So, which is great. I believe the number is somewhere around 21,000 families that have been connected through PHL Connected, which is, and the early estimate during the beginning of the pandemic was around 35,000 families that did not have internet access. But so I think those numbers at 21,000 might be off too. I think it's gone up. So yeah, this slides are provided by the city at one point. So often, like I mentioned, this is for community-based orgs for the most part. But I would think all of you can think of clients or probably folks that that could use this information as well. And we're gonna forward through these things. So FAQs. So just kind of as a follow-up, yeah, the cost for all these services is absolutely free, including our digital skills classes. If you need information that, you can call the digital navigators, which I'll provide you a link to those flyers. And yeah, we'll make sure you have all the information that's on here. So you mentioned United Way, they are assisting the city with the funding and the organization of the program as well. So and seeing links is not helpful to you, so I will provide you actual links in this as well to make sure you have this information. Some of the other things though with Drexel, what we're doing in particular is we are hiring right now for tech ambassadors. These are part-time roles. We're probably about 40 to 50 hours total, but at $20 an hour. And this is for a program we have to assist older adults in using tablets. So we've got funding to provide tablets to 20 different older adults, seniors in our community around Drexel. And we're looking to hire a couple of local community members, West Philly based, that can be tech ambassadors. And we're kind of do the train the trainer model. We'll train you how to get people connected to the internet, some of these digital navigator skills that we talked about. And then also assisting seniors with getting that internet connection and also setting up their tablets and leading some group training, some workshops as well. So I'll make sure you have that information. And Joe always has my information too. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And I'll be announcing hopefully soon of a part-time position, digital navigator position. And this is about a 6-month position. That's what we have funding for, but we're hoping with some additional funding we hope to get, we can continue that for a little longer than that. But this will be in person, assisting at the Dornsife Center for Neighborhood Partnerships, kind of Drexel's community center, assisting with kind of walk-ins that are folks that are coming into for programs or walking in for assistance with internet access. And then possibly leading some community-based workshops around Zoom and other skills as well. So, yeah, and that's our information there for our program there. But I will give you, I'm going to put a link in there as well. A short link. And that is a link to our Google Drive that has all of our flyers in it. And I'm going to make sure that link works. That did not work. All right. It's lowercase f. There you go. Okay, there you go. Try that link. But I'd love to hear any questions you all might have about the work we're doing. If you're interested in ways to get involved. That's a good question. The position itself will be in person, so we probably will try to do in-person training if we can for the tech ambassadors. Yeah, and this will require possibly going into homes for folks, helping them set up their internet connection and their tablet, doing that initial setup for them. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you enjoyed the information. Yeah, I'm hoping that some of you all can use the information as well for yourselves or families or friends that might need help getting internet connections. Yeah, we can share the information. Yeah. Any other questions?
Andy, I think you covered it, but could you go over if there are any restrictions on any of those internet programs or getting funding for internet, anything like that?
I know you do have to qualify as low income, so there is a qualification process that there's a kind of a national registry of sorts you have to apply for. But the thing with that, our digital navigators can assist with that. Any of the programs, if you call them up, we assist people with filling out that paperwork or that going through those online forms. So that is part of the service that we provide as well. Yeah, but if you should qualify, and anyone that's has families or students in the school district of Philadelphia, you should qualify for any of these programs as well. Absolutely, there's opportunity for your community partnerships. I do presentations like this for various community members, community groups across the city, or mainly West Philly, but also across the city. The programs are across the city. It was just that the tech ambassador position is for West Philly. We're trying to find folks in West Philly within the communities here. You can call, yeah, you can definitely call us at let me put that presentation back up if I can. So, yep, you can call that number there. So we are at 267-217-3508. So our digital navigators can answer your questions there. Yep. So you can call us as well. We have a digital skills class that actually Joe works with the Beachville Family Learning Center. So we have our digital skills class there, focusing on mostly on caregivers, but it's actually open to anyone that's there. And for we are offering free laptops for anyone that completes that program right now too. So you can call the same number and we'll get you connected to those skills classes. Those classes they have self-paced with Miss Brenda, who's our lab manager there. She's doing Monday through Thursday, 12 to 5, and then 1 to 5 on Fridays. It's self-paced. It's a really easy system to use to learn the skills. But also we have evening classes with the Urban League on from Tuesday to Thursday evenings from 5 to 7. So those are instructor-led in-person classes. So. Nope, there's no requirements for the training programs or anything. Nope. Yeah, so let me share the flyer for the job position here, and I'll put that in the chat here as well. And let me just find the link. But you can also always call that number, and we can definitely get that to you. Here it is. Let's see if I can get that to go in. There it goes. Hopefully that link went through to everyone. And yep, you can always. The hours are going to might be variable. We have to explore that. It's going to be based on some of the schedule for the participants, for the older adults we're working with. But probably most likely during the day, I think is most likely. So. Yeah, and it's probably we're looking at June, July. That's it's a short-term position. But we'd love to hear from folks. So.
And is the application information, is that on the flyer?
Yep. Yeah, you can go to that link and there's a interest form that you can fill out, and we'll provide you with that information.
Awesome. Thanks.
So, yeah. Yeah, Ray, feel free to give me a call. We can talk. Yep. Absolutely. You can just call our digital navigator line there, and they'll connect me with you. All right. Well, thanks for the opportunity, Joe.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. We got about 3 minutes here. Are there any last questions? Otherwise, we'll turn it over to Benjamin. So the link is on that flyer, right up in the chat a little bit, Mina. And I'll make sure to send all this out tomorrow as well. So keep an eye out for that. Is the program only for West Philadelphia? Oh, you're on mute, Andy.
Yeah, the tech ambassador position is based really in West Philly. We're trying to hire from West Philly. That's why we haven't really posted it publicly right now. But all the programs I mentioned are citywide right now. Although Drexel is the only one offering, I believe, a laptop through the digital skills classes at the moment.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much, Andy. And if anyone has any more questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll make sure to get some answers from Andy, and then I'll send out a follow-up email with the answers tomorrow. But
Great.
now let's turn it over to Benjamin with Tech Impact.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Andy. Hello, everyone. My name is Benjamin. I am with Tech Impact. We are a nonprofit organization that is based in Delaware. Our goal is essentially trying to bring technical training, IT training to people and get them employed in that particular field as well. This is a great alternative to college, and it is free training. A couple of the programs that we're currently recruiting for are IT Works and Tech Elevator. I also put my information in the chat, my name, my email, and then where you would go to apply. Let me go ahead and just break down kind of these two programs and what they would mean. First, IT Works. IT Works is basically an entry-level kind of technical training program. It is 16 weeks long. You have to be eligible to work in the United States and have a valid photo ID. During the 16 weeks, the first 11 weeks are essentially coursework. You'd be covering about 2 chapters a week, Monday through Friday, 9 to 3. So it is a full-time class. It's set up hybrid. So there would be some days you'd be in the classroom, some days you would be working from home. Just to give you an idea, typical week would be classroom work. You would be going in on Monday and Wednesdays for classroom work. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, you'd usually be working virtually from home. And that would be the days that you would be taking exams and things like that. One of the great things about this particular training program is on Fridays, we reserve that for meeting members of the community. So that's a great day for networking. A lot of the internships and people that we'd be placing you in would be coming in those days. So not only are you getting the training, but you're actually getting some ability to ask questions to people who are in certain fields, everything from cybersecurity to IT support to help desk. there's a lot of different fields, and with IT, it can be kind of daunting because there's so many pathways. A lot of people, they go, yeah, I'm interested in technology, but I don't know what I want to do. That is a great day to kind of figure that out, ask questions, figure out like what the job's like, how it works, and what you would need to do to be successful in that role. After the first 11 weeks, as I mentioned, that's coursework Monday through Friday, 2 chapters a week. The last 5 weeks, we place you with an internship. How this works is we give you a list of internships that are available. You select which ones you would like to participate in. These internships are located in the Wilmington area. And then we also have a class in the Philadelphia area as well. So they would be in those 2 locations. You select which ones you want to interview for. You go, you interview for those particular internships that are offered. And then depending on how many employers select you, let's say you interview for 5 internships and 3 get back to you or get back to us saying that they like you, they would like to have you as their intern. Then you get to pick which of those 3 or however many that you received that you want to actually do. These internships are mostly paid. We can't guarantee 100% that all of them would be paid, but we do try very hard to make sure that these particular internships are paid. The internships take the same hours as the class. So if you're working part-time or anything like that, you don't have to worry about changing your schedule. So it would be 9 to 3, Monday through Friday. You wouldn't be working weekends or anything like that. It's a great way, as I mentioned, this is a great program if you want to get into IT. The number one question I probably get asked when people are getting into this program or interested in is, hey, Ben, I am interested, but I don't have any IT experience. That is not a problem. What I'm really looking for and what will make you successful in this course is showing up, participating, and having an interest in IT of some sort, having some sort of passion for it. Maybe you like building computers. Maybe you're the family's like go-to troubleshooting person when it comes to computers. Maybe you like setting up home audio or things like that. So these are the types of things like if that would help you. So you really, as I mentioned, you don't have to have an IT background, take classes or anything like that. You just have to come in willing to learn, willing to put in the time, and have an interest in that particular role. With this course, we do provide things like laptops, book bags, notepads. So really all you need is an internet connection for days that you're working from home. Even that, we help you if you're struggling with finding affordable internet, we would assist you with getting you affordable internet so you could go ahead and still do the course and work it virtually. Now, once you complete the course, the internships have the ability to hire you once you're completed. And if they do not hire you, then we would assist you in finding another job. It's not uncommon for them to hire you, and it's also not uncommon for them not to hire you. It has no reflection upon you. It's just sometimes these companies are just looking for like a temporary worker, or they're trying to figure out like if that is something they actually need in the long run. During the course, you would be earning 2 certificates. The first certificate is the Cisco IT Essentials certificate. That one you would earn just by completing the course itself. Excuse me a moment. And then the second certificate you would be earning is optional, but it's very valued, and I would highly recommend anyone who takes this class to attempt to get it. It's the CompTIA A+ certification. This is typically a $500 to $600 test if you were to take it by yourself. We pay for it for you to take it during the time of this course. It's very desirable by a lot of IT people who are hiring IT. And so I really really encourage anyone who does do this course to try to go for their CompTIA A+ certification as well. As I mentioned, it is optional, but it is a really great value, and it's free, and we offer the training during the course to help you get that. Now, some jobs that you can get with this kind of course, you can get, as I mentioned, IT support. You can get a help desk position, things like that. I knew a person who finished this course and ended up doing like the security system for a college. So they would go through like, you know, basically they would run the security system for that particular college. So it's a great option if you're looking for other ways other than college, and it's a lot shorter. I will let you know though, it is, as I mentioned, it's only 16 weeks long, so it is condensed, and it would require you to kind of take that time to dedicate to that, because it is an accelerated program, as I mentioned, 2 chapters a week. Now, any opportunities for somebody who works? Right now, we currently don't have any part-time courses available. However, next spring, we do work with Delaware State University, and they do have, basically it's a work at your own pace 6 months course that they offer once a year. That particular course would start next spring. The only thing with that particular course is they only recruit a total of 30 people, and you do have to be a Delaware resident for that particular one. So the recruiting for that is very limited. So it can sometimes be hard to get into. After help desk, really, there's some people who continue their training and they go on and to learn networking. Others learn cybersecurity, things like that. One point I wanted to make really quickly, with this particular course as well, the IT works, there are some restrictions. You do have to be eligible to work in the United States. You do have to be fully vaccinated. The reason why is a lot of the internships require you to be vaccinated. So we make it a mandate to be vaccinated to enter in the program. And you do have to be between the ages of 18 to 28. Sometimes we push it up a little bit to 30, but usually that's kind of the age range that we're looking for. So that is IT Works. If you're interested, you would just go to techimpact.org, click apply. It takes a couple minutes. All you have to do is put your name, email, and then your phone number. I'm the admissions coordinator, so I would reach out to you once I received your interest form. We would have a brief 10-15-minute conversation where I just ask you some questions, kind of figure out which program would be best for you. And then if I think you would be a good candidate, we would move you on. With this program as well, you can't have a 4-year degree. So this is a program that's made for people who, you can have a 2-year degree, but if you have your bachelor's, you would be what we consider overqualified for this particular program. The second program, one moment, that I would love to go over with you guys, we will be recruiting for as well. Before I do, that IT Works specific program that I was just talking about, we're starting recruiting in June. The actual class would start at late August. So if you are interested, please go to the website that Joe kindly put in the chat and apply now. The second program that I'd like to talk to you about that we're also recruiting for fall is called Tech Elevator. This is a little bit more advanced program. It is 14 weeks long. It's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and this is for software development. It's full stack software development course. What that means is you would not only be learning programming and coding, but you'd also be learning how to do the interface. So both the back end and the front end of software development, which is really great. This course is not age restricted. So it doesn't matter what your age is. There are some requirements though. You do have to be a Delaware resident. You do have to be eligible to work in the United States. You do have to have a valid photo ID. And then finally, you have to be what we consider either underemployed or unemployed. Unemployed is basically you don't have a job currently, of course. Underemployed, we consider is if you're working part-time jobs or you're working in a position where there's no room for growth. So let's say you're working in a program that, or you're working somewhere like as a cashier, you've been working there for years and there's no opportunity to grow within that program or within that job or position. As I mentioned, Tech Elevator is not age restricted. It is more intensive, being that it is a shorter program at 14 weeks, and you would be learning a lot more technical stuff with the software, the programming, the coding, that kind of thing. The goal with this program, Tech Elevator, is we want you to do the program, and then we would help you find a position after the program. So it's for people who are trying to change careers, who are trying to get back into the workforce, and would like to advance or build a career for themselves at the end of it. So we do help you with finding, if you do complete the course, we do help you with finding a position if you haven't found one by the end of the course. And it's really great to, like, as I mentioned, great alternative for college. And it's really great if you are interested in like software development. Some jobs that you can get with this kind of course, you can be web designer, you could be a coder, you could do testing for software, you could write apps, things like that. There's sky's the limit really, where you can go with this kind of program. As for, I see a couple questions here. For Tech Elevator, there are currently no similar programs for the PA area at this time. That may change in the future, but this is covered by a grant from Delaware. So it is a Delaware-based program. As for another question I got, you're over the age range, but you're interested in the program. What I would suggest is still put in your application, and I can, if I have that, I can give you a phone screening, basically a 10 to 15 minute interview, and then we can see if there's another program that might be a better fit for you at that time. And then I hear a lot about cloud computing. With cloud computing, I'm not super familiar with it. There's a lot of different certificates out there. I do know that the Tech Elevator would help with that, but another course that we're not currently recruiting for is called Code Differently. If you were interested in more like cloud computing, then I would suggest putting in an application with us, and definitely letting us know like what your interests are. And then when we had that conversation, I would probably, if you were into cloud computing, I would point you in the direction of Code Differently, which we aren't currently recruiting for. Yes, people with bachelor's degrees, as I mentioned, you wouldn't be able to do the IT Works program, but if you had a bachelor's degree, Code Differently or the Tech Elevator programs would be available to you at that point. Do we have any other questions? And again, I am currently recruiting for these two programs. And then if you were interested in the other programs I mentioned that we aren't currently recruiting for, I would still put in your application. That way we can have that conversation, get your information on file with us. So when those programs do come up and that we do start recruiting for them, that we can get you to like the front of the line, so to speak. And then with these two programs, as I mentioned, They are starting in fall. Usually they start around late August. We will begin recruiting in June, which is less than a week from now. May went by so quickly. Currently, we are recruiting for Tech Elevator, and we are recruiting for IT Works.
Ben, I know you mentioned that a bachelor's degree would be considered overqualified. Is there a minimum qualification? Do you need a high school diploma?
Great question, Joe. Thank you. For all of our programs, you do either need, you need to be 18 years or older. You need to be eligible to work in the United States and have a valid photo ID. And then you need to either be high school graduate or have a GED. So you need to either have one of those things to qualify for all our programs. And then the only age restricted program is the IT Works program that I mentioned earlier. Are there any other questions? If you think of any other questions, feel free to email me. Again, my email is benjamin@techimpact.org. And I'll put it in the chat again here. Most of the programs I mentioned are for Delaware. IT Works is the only one that we service Philadelphia as well. With the IT Works, you can be a Philadelphia resident and participate. We usually hold class for the Philly-based one in Center City, Philadelphia. So as long as you're able to commute, you would be eligible for that program. A cybersecurity professional, there is a course that is offered by DSU, Delaware State University, that we partner up and we help them recruit for in the spring. That one would start sometime in March of next year. However, a couple of things with cybersecurity, and I spoke with my partner in DSU specifically on that. It is a very intensive course. So they only select 15 people per year to do that particular course. The 15 people they do select, because it's so intensive, they often require you to have at least 2 years of experience in IT already. The reason why is it's not easy, to say the least. It's very intensive. It's a higher level of technical training than other programs. Another thing they ran into, and nothing against anyone, is cybersecurity. I don't know if you've ever been on Indeed looking for a job. One of the first things I do is I go to the rate of pay. I boost it up to 80,000 or whatever, and then I only look at those jobs. A lot of people, when they're looking into IT at first, they see cybersecurity as something they would want to do because it pays quite a bit. However, you want to definitely do your research, because I've met and spoke with several people who have either started the training and weren't able to complete it, or didn't like it, didn't have a passion for it, or they ended up getting a position and they wish they had done something different, like software development or some other pathway. So there is a training program for that. It is very limited on the space they have. So it's not to say, I wouldn't say don't apply, just be ready if you do apply that it's going to be harder to get into than the other programs we offer. Are there any other questions? The minimum education requirement for all our programs is either a high school diploma or a GED, and then you have to be at least 18 years or older. Other than that, there are no other requirements based on education. Again, if anyone has any further questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If not, and if you think of something, my email again is benjamin@techimpact.org. I'm the admissions coordinator, so my door is always open. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. And if you are interested or know somebody that is interested, please direct them to our website, techimpact.org. They just have to scroll down a little bit, click apply now. It takes maybe 2 to 3 minutes to submit your interest form. And then I usually reach out to them within the week that they apply. If there are no more questions, thank you so much for your time and everybody who attended today. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ben. Sounds like some awesome programs. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you have any further questions, like Ben said, you can contact him. If you have any questions for Andy about the digital navigators or anything going on over there, feel free to email me. You should have all gotten emails from me when you registered, so you can just respond to that with any questions, and I'll be sure to try to get back to you. But yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ben. And I'll be in touch with everyone tomorrow with some of the follow-up information from this session today. All right.
Have a great day,
We'll get out
everyone.
here a few minutes early.
Awesome. Take care, everyone. Thank you again. Look forward to
Thank
hearing
you,
from
Ben.
you. Bye.
All right. Have a nice afternoon, everybody.